crying out loud. That's the sunbeam on my green screen. Captain Pike from misogyny to non-toxic masculinity. Who are you?
I'm Rob off camera again.
Captain Stingray Davis, Ensign Pike Mount thing. Mount brings a layered nuance.
Ensign Mount. Captain Mounty Pike.
See, we decided that this show is much more watchable if we pretend it has nothing to do with Star Trek.
Yes.
At all. So we've renamed him Stingray Davis. We've renamed all the cast and the crew because it's like a Star Trek show, and it's not really a Star Trek show. It's like Star Trek in name only. It's kind of like a parody of Star Trek. So it's really, really fun to go through and just rename and... Oh, who's loving it? Teresa Jusino. What are their pronouns? I do not want to assume because this is the Mary Sue. And this does have people, everyone from doll to goat to clown selves can write for them.
And their headmates.
And their headmates. And all of their headmates. See, this is how we mock the news. Oh, for crying out loud. So. My pick stuck to my arm because I put my arm on the desk where my pick was. She loves current Star Trek and Captain Christopher Pike, a.k.a. Stingray Davis. Mount brings a layered nuance and compassionate performance to the role that could have either been boring or bombastic as hell in the wrong hands. The role itself has been written that way. Really? To appreciate how far Captain Pike has come, we should look at earlier incarnations. There was only one!
There was only one. Well, no, there was the one from the
That's the same thing.
Abrams
movie. No. Doesn't count. Because that's supposed to be a different universe. Jeffrey Hunter and the stupid pilot that was unwatchable that nobody liked. You need to pretend doesn't exist. Stop pretending this is like Star Trek. Stop pretending the pilot's... It was unwatchable. It was in a vault somewhere. Nobody released it until the 1980s on home video. And it was like one of those little nerd trivia things. You knew the name of the pilot from Star Trek. And it was like nerd cred to have watched it. Wasn't it? And that was back in the day. So, however, NBC believed in Gene Roddenberry's concept in order to order a second pilot with lots of changes like New Enterprise Captain James T. Kirk with nowhere else. Yeah, because nobody liked it. It was bad. Had plenty of misogyny. That wasn't the problem with it. It was the 1960s. Blow it out, your stupid Twitter account. In one scene, a blonde yeoman comes onto the bridge and Captain Kirk gets her name wrong by calling her Jones.
Do they sit there with like a notepad
yes.
and a stopwatch? And,
yes.
And their phones out.
It's like, oh, I am offended. Be offended. At this time, Captain Kirk said a misogynist. He said a thing. Yes. This is the same as when the other side goes around and finds a rainbow and everything to be mad about. So, Dr. Elizabeth Denner, Sally Kellerman, the doctor introduced as the pilot, was introduced by a man, while all the other male department heads introduced themselves. Really?
I guess so.
That's a thing? That's a thing to be upset by. That's a thing they're upset by. So, yeah, Star Trek was a product of its time, blah, blah. So, shove it. So, get over it. And what's the problem? It's interesting to note, though, that while Kirk is steeped in the same sexism as everyone else, he doesn't make sexist remarks in his introductory episode. Sexism isn't a conscious part of his identity as presented. Maybe did the woman write that episode? Maybe did DC Fontana happen to write that one accidentally or something? Or did it just accidentally not come off as sexist to Little Miss Basket Case Mary Sue here? And then there's Captain Christopher Pike, who sloppily navigates having women on the bridge. Check out this clip from The Cage.
It was 1965.
It was The Cage.
And this pilot
was
rejected.
This pilot was never aired.
They said it was
You're mad about the unwatchable unaired pilot. That's like going to the Beatles and saying, well, gosh, Free as a Bird was awful. They should have never released it.
That was released.
They didn't.
They released it. They never. That was one of John's songs they hung on to.
I know. Well, it's just an example. It's just the first one off the top of my head.
They just forgot about it. This is no good. Just put it aside.
they're mad that the deleted scenes. They're mad at deleted scenes. They're mad at deleted scenes. They're mad at the stuff that was edited out and is only included as a bonus special feature for Star Trek fans to have because it's complete and it survived. That's it. They're reading so much into this. I'm not even going to watch the clip. I don't care what her argument is anymore. You're mad at the unaired pilot. They're comparing how a character changed from an unwatchable, unaired bonus feature, pretending like it matters. Because, for some reason, a bunch of dumb producers decided that we needed to reboot Star Trek to make it more like The Orville, because The Orville's a better show now. But, that being said, I actually kind of gave it a pretty positive review. I gave it an honorable mention as one of my favorite shows last season because it wasn't that terrible. It's just not Star Trek. I mean, it's like Star Trek in name only. It doesn't have any of the same spirit, any of the same passion, any of the same morality. It doesn't have any of the same heart that Star Trek had, especially when you've got people who still think that the cage is something we need to take seriously. It's the throwaway. It's the throwaway. It's the throwaway that they had to rework and chop up to put into the menagerie later on. Mm-hmm. Because, seriously. Hello, Becca. Sorry to be late. It's strange. YouTube censors many stuff, so I decided to support you. I'm sorry YouTube does, but thank you. I appreciate it, Anubis. Tier 2 for 12 months. If you like this channel, please support it with being a channel member. I work for tips. I work for donations. I work for super chats. I work for, I don't know, send me, whatever. Send me gold.
Stuff.
From your mom's teeth. Go and dig her up if you have to. Don't do that for realsies. I don't even have a P.O. box anymore, so don't do that for real. I am Mecca. We're going to go and get dinner, so I'm going to stop the recording on this.